Alright, hello everyone, and welcome back. We are headed to round 9 of this Reddit League Championship Challenge season, whatever we're calling it these days. It was set up now that real Formula 1 racing is back and alive again. But we're in the final third of the season, kicking it off with Suzuka, Japan. We will then be headed towards, I believe it is Monza next. The US will be closing it out, as all season should be closed out. Not at Abu Dhabi, but at Brazil, which is, I think, a great track to finish it off on. But definitely been an interesting set of challenges for this week, with F1 2020 coming out, starting to jump on, getting videos done in that, and getting a handle on how that game drives, to jumping back into F1 2019 and getting a totally different feel on how that drives. So going back and forth has been interesting, because the handling models have absolutely changed a little bit. But here we are back in. I'll try and keep it strictly to 2019 for what you guys are watching here. We're headed off into qualifying. I believe we are tied for P9 in the championship right now, so we definitely want to try and get a good points finish here. So let's go ahead and load our setup in. Surprisingly, for the longer straights, are fairly mid to high downforce setup, just to try and deal with pretty much all of Sector 1 and 2. Sector 3 through the high speed sections are going to be the big problem. Let's see what the weather's going to be like. Okay, dry qualifying, dry race. Thank God. It is a one-stop kind of race. It's not a super long track. So it is pretty much soft onto medium or medium onto soft are the two options. So we're not going to have too much of a difference with strategy coming out here. But before I head out, let's take some of this fuel out of the car, because we don't need the car to be so heavy. Out on track.
Perhaps we should get out there before it gets busy. Standing by.
But let's get out on the track, get our first qualifying laps in. We'll go out on the mediums first, just to get a feel for the track, get kind of back into the rhythm for it. I did a little bit of a kind of warm-up, only a few laps here and there this morning. Light in front of us here. Stay daylight while it's all cloudy and covered, but let's get into the challenge that is Suzuka. It's not an easy track to deal with, not an easy track to pass on either. It's a pretty difficult track to find your way past another car. Only the one DRS zone, which is down the main front straight. You do have another DRS zone on the back straight, not another DRS zone, but another passing zone on the back straight, kind of headed into 130R, which I will call out as we come through there. For those of you not in the know of some of the corner names, that's all right, as we are going to head down to this little tight Dunlop hairpin. Coming backing around, and then we've got a bit of a long run, and then we will head to the double left-hander that is called Spoon. It's kind of a quick flick down for the first part, then another secondary braking zone. So you get down kind of 2 gears, and then another quick tap of the brakes to get it in for the slower section, and really kind of open the car up, try and pick up as much speed as you run down this long back straight. Now 130R is this left-hander at the top of the hill, which nowadays is flat out, but it leads into this bus stop chicane braking zone. So there's a little bit of a bump on the inside of the track here. We're going to use the outside to just get the power down smoothly. As we're running our actual fast laps, we're going to have to kind of navigate the bump. But it's an older track, so it's pretty bumpy. It's not very smooth, to say the least. And yep, there's the back end getting away from us a little bit. Just got a wheel on the grass. Not terrible through the S's otherwise, but putting that wheel out on the grass definitely hurts lap time a fair bit. Just to kind of deal with the floatiness of the car through Degner 1, and then get it slowed down for the second Degner curve. And the braking zone for this hairpin is so bumpy. Normally based on our speed and how far we have to get to that corner, you'd be able to brake a lot later, but it's so bumpy that if you try and brake any harder than that, you're absolutely going to lock up. And much like I would say Bahrain is pretty friendly and forgiving for people that are running traction control for their assist, this track very much is a little bit more forgiving on those running anti-lock brakes, because most of your real heavy brake zones on this track are extremely bumpy. And there's that huge kind of jump we have to kind of wait to cross over. But yeah, not a great time, a 31.7. But it is a time that we will deal with. Well, let's get back around to the pits. We'll bolt on a softer set of tires here, because we only fueled for the one lap. And we'll go for a faster lap. My best time around here in time trial was in the high 28, so minute 28 point, I think it was 8. I'm probably only going to get into the, if I put together a really good lap right here, I'll probably get into the mid to low 29s. I'll be happy if I can get into the mid 29s. Because obviously time trial laps, lots and lots of tries to get them. Qualifying lap, you know,
The tank is empty.
to really hook it up. And you also don't have to worry about which, you know, tires overheating or anything like that, and managing the tire temperatures or anything like that in the time trial mode. But going absolutely flat out here, definitely have to worry a little bit more about that, and making sure that everything stays, you know, as it should. Let's get through the bus stop one last time here, and let's get inside. You see that big hump. I mean, even getting the car slowed down for the pit lane is bumpy as all get out, and really causes a lot of lockups. So yeah, it's definitely a track that is not friendly on those with no ABS. We've definitely got some room to improve on the starting lap time. I don't necessarily want to go out and set a faster lap on these mediums, because if that's the case, then we'll just be putting more mileage on the tire for no reason. Especially since if we're outside the top 10, we'll get free choice of tire regardless. So we're going to get ourselves set up,
1:31.7.
and we're going to go out on softs. We're going to make sure we leave one set of softs in qualifying unused, so that way we have a completely fresh set of tires to use in the race, because we are going to need a set of those softs in the race. That being said, if we get ourselves up into the top 10, then that's not as big of a deal. But right now, Golly Moon's out in front, so he's showing some good pace. And there we go. There's Boom Tech back on the track. Missed out a couple of weeks. Been gone for a little while. Was a big championship challenger to QX Nemesis, but has been gone for a few race weekends. So it'll be good to have him back on the track, as it were. Definitely absolutely a rapid driver. Alright, let's leave a little bit of space. I don't want to catch these guys too quick. Let's get ourselves geared up for another flying lap attempt. Hopefully not dipping the wheels off into the grass this time. Okay, let's get
We've
the
only
engine
got
turned
2
all the way
laps
up.
of fuel left.
Alright, here we go. Already a little bit of a better launch, picking up a couple of tenths here and there. Oh, I had to wait for K3 to turn in, but nah, it's gonna burn that lap time. This is why I'm not a big fan of pit assist, because it basically has control of your car all the way till the end of the pit line. Because normally, I'm pretty sure he's running it. Normally with the pit assist, you would check up and leave room for the turn in, but kind of didn't leave a whole lot of space there for me. Frustrating because that's a lap that I don't necessarily get to put a time in with. So let's get in. I mean, it's kind of a wasted set of tires as well. Let's see if I can do some math here. I might have enough time to refuel, go out on these tires once again, come back, new tires, and then go one more time. That's frustrating. We had a chance to maybe do something. Alright, so it's about minute 30 each. So call it 140 for the out lap, 130 for the fast lap, 130 for the in lap. So that's 4.5 minutes.
0 miles per hour.
4.5, and then it's not gonna be enough. So we're just gonna go ahead and throw on another set of tires. We'll just kind of hang tight for a minute, and we'll go out for another lap. So far, slowest lap time of the day. 3 people have not set their times yet. Yeah, because I don't want to do 2 laps on a set of tires. I definitely don't want to do that. So we'll wait for the track to evolve a little bit. We won't go all the way out. We'll probably go about the 4.5 minute mark.
So far, our fastest lap is a 1 minute 31.7.
About 4.5 minute mark. We'll head back out. We'll see what kind of a lap time we can set. That's unfortunate. Kind of had the lap. And I just had to make sure not to turn in and hit him. You really got to fully commit into turn 1. And if you're hesitating on the turn in, you're gonna run wide like I did. And you're just gonna run out of track.
5 minutes remaining in the session.
Alright, so here we are, about 4.5 minute mark.
We're 13th in the speed trap, 180.0 miles per hour. All set.
And
Everyone clear.
let's see if we can
Car to
actually get a
track.
good lap in. I don't need another repeat of last week's qualifying where things went haywire pretty much the whole way through. Okay. So hopefully we've got a clean pit exit this time. Okay, he's pulling over. He's no longer on a fast lap. He's on his in lap. Better to pull over and just make sure that he wasn't on a fast lap when we were exiting the pits. Make sure he's got the room. Alright, let's get everything cranked back up here. Let's set ourselves a good lap time. Let's see if we can get into the 29s. Hey, that's how I wanted to take turns 1 and 2. Much better so far. Get a good launch off Degner 2. Yeah, those tires just starting to lock up a little bit as I'm really kind of pushing the edge of them. That's about as much as you can brake into the Dunlop curve there. A little wide, have to get out of the throttle just a little bit. If you run wide onto that curb through the middle of Spoon, that is it will invalidate your lap. So I wasn't quite early enough on the turn in to really get the nose to bite in the way I wanted it to. That cost me maybe a tenth or two. Now over the bump, we're going to improve by about 2 seconds, so we'll go into the 29.6s. That's going to put us P6 at the moment. So a much better lap. We're going to ease off the tires a little bit here, try and save a little bit of their life. So that's not a terrible time for us. P6, I will not complain about that. Just going to drive it pretty gingerly the rest of the way. Keep an eye on the mini-map, make sure nobody is coming up behind us. Make sure we get out of the way of anybody who's on a fast lap. There's Degner 1. Then you hit the brakes down into Degner 2 there. A lot of banking, a lot of camber in those corners to really lean into. Yeah, look at just how bumpy this section of the track is. Trying to get the car slowed down for that really tight hairpin. Okay, checkered flag has been waved. We will go ahead and drive ourselves directly into the pit lane. Right now, P6, not a bad time. I'm going to hustle it just a little bit to make sure these guys don't catch us coming into the bus stop chicane. I don't want to be in the way when they're coming through. All right, so we've given them plenty of space. That Renault behind. Just go ahead and casually drive ourselves back into the pit lane here. But P6 as we came across, let's see, is anybody going to improve ahead of us? Nothing there. Pink car, couldn't tell. So now we'll definitely be starting on that set of soft tires, so definitely a good idea to baby them on the way in. And we'll be going on that soft onto medium strategy. Really, the important part of this race is going to be handling that heavy load of fuel at the start. Driving through the S's is going to be the tough part. All right, so we've gotten knocked down to P8 as a couple of guys have gone a little bit faster. Boomtech appears to be in the grass. An interesting strategy, to say the least. Yeah, I think probably our best qualifying probably would have been P6 if we went into the low 29s. But I'll take. I mean, it was only 0.2 from there. I'm happy with that. It's gonna be a bit of a fight getting up the field. P9 at the moment. We're just waiting for Boomtech to get pushed back into his garage slot, and then it'll move us along. So yeah, 1.4 off of the top pace. Pretty big gap, Boomtech to Nemesis. 0.7 almost, and then another 1/10.5 back to Voki there. But then it jumps into the 1 second range once you're outside the top 3. K3M, good strong lap, a 29.2. Same with NGP Racer in the 29.2s. Not bad. We'll see what Felix can fit up in. There's Habs fan Nick right behind us. As usual, kind of going to be there to torture us. So one of the things I'm going to kind of be experimenting with this race is I'm going to take some extra fuel out, run it a little bit lighter to try and get through that heavy phase as early as possible. Because running heavy race fuel loads through the S's feels absolutely awful. The car just feels like trash through there when it's got a heavy load of fuel.
Out on track today. Keep your distance going into turn 1.
And we have to do some saving over the course of the race. So we're going to drop down to 26.5. And we'll just go ahead and run with the suggested strategy. We might, because we're running the lighter fuel load, we might actually be able to stretch another lap out of those soft tires before we go on to those mediums. We've got both Red Bulls right in front of us here.
Okay, our system checks are good. We need to stay in formation and start bringing the car up to temperature, please. Get some load into the tyres and work the brakes. We want them nice and warm by the end of the lap.
Well, this track, a lot like Silverstone, as far as the electrical management, there's a lot of on-power sections, not nearly as many real heavy braking zones as we usually face. So managing that electrical is going to be pretty key. Same with the fuel mix. We are going to be basically running a lean in Sector 1 pretty much the entire race is the idea. As soon as we get out of Sector 1 is when we go back up to the regular fuel mixture. Because that's where you can really back off the engine power without losing really any pace. Tires up to temperature so we can have a good strong start. It's going to be important to sort ourselves out, try and find some clear space before we hit turn 1. Alright, I'm gonna let the AI take over. Let's see if we can have a better run here. There we go. Alright, P9, just inside the points at the start. It's gonna be
The rest of the grid is forming up.
all about
Be
staying
patient
alive.
and watch for the lights.
We're gonna let them kind of scrap it in front of us. Racer's got some wing damage, so he's gonna have to deal with that. Was a little too aggressive into that first.
Focus now for the rest of the race.
Come on. Had to track extend a little bit with Racer diving up the inside of us. I wanted to make sure that front wing damage, that he wasn't going to understeer into us and spin us. So I had to just kind of go off the track, leave a little bit of room. As you saw, I didn't pick up any track limits warnings for that one. I think the game kind of saw that it was a bit justified. We've got yellow flags behind us. Still catching a little bit of that dirty air in front. We're through the first little phase here. Still pretty heavy on the fuel. Well, the car is feeling a little bit better through the S's now. All right. Back up to mix 2. Up ahead of us. Let them kind of sort themselves out a little bit. Maybe an opportunity for a move into the chicane here. Not quite. Still a little too bunched up. We're going to go ahead and
DRS is now available.
Stick with safety is the #1 concern.
The car behind is dropping back. We're seeing a gap form.
Back end got a little light coming through the first part of the S's, so had to get a little bit more out of the throttle than normal. Touching that curve is a little bit sketchy. It's a little dangerous. Since we're tucked up behind Gali, we're going to go ahead and just stay in the lean mix a little bit longer than we normally would. Save a tiny bit extra fuel through that section. That's going to help us out in the long run at the tail end of the race. That's the first time I've gone that light on fuel at the start of one of these sessions for this race than I ever have, and honestly it felt pretty good to do. Definitely made the car feel much more responsive through the S's than it normally does. Alright, this is attack time. The S sections on this track is tough because if you get just a little out of sorts in one of them, it really compromises your run through the entire section, and you're going to lose, 3-4 tenths on the lap because of it. Let's see if we can open up a gap to Golly Moon's behind us. Or we can just make an absolute mess out of Spoon. Let's go ahead and use some energy to regain that little bit of lost time.
Okay, gap ahead is 1.9 seconds.
Ooh, Marco off the track. Big moment through there. He's kind of spearing back across the track afterwards, so we had to make sure to successfully avoid him. Okay. Ooh, back in. A little too eager on that last downshift. Managed to keep it connected. We're up into P7 now. Starting to lose a little bit of rear traction. Oh, that's going to cost me. Oh, man. Alright, come on, focus up, focus up. Let's go ahead and move the front brake bias forwards a little bit. Don't do it, Golly, don't do it. Yeah, these tires are definitely losing a lot of traction. Have to go to the inside.
Okay, we need some energy harvesting. Reduce ERS deployment.
That time we're not going to be able to hold him off. He's going to have DRS on us.
Strategy option.
Not now, Jeff. I'm busy. I hope he wants to bring me in early because right now the car feels pretty slippery around the track.
Okay, copy
No,
that.
I'm not coming in later. The back end of this car is already all over the place right now. I have no grip. I'm not sure why I have no grip. It's a little confusing to me right now. Ooh, he's had a moment behind us. Okay, that's going to take some pressure off the backside of us. We're not close enough to attack. We're going to use this DRS to kind of catch up to him.
Seconds.
Come on, tail end. Hook up.
Okay, clear.
Come on, get back on track. The rear grip is just gone in this car for some reason. We're going backwards. Come on.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the mediums.
I don't know where all the tire grip has gone, but it feels pretty bad.
Be aware we expect the grip levels to start falling away soon.
Okay, one more lap. We're gonna come in on lap 9. Thing is, at 30%, they should not be falling away this much. They shouldn't feel this bad.
Is 1.7 seconds.
They're doing me a bit of a favor. My race isn't with Boom Tech, just let him through into turn 1. Probably could have pushed the issue with him, but I decided against it.
Green flag.
Okay, so Racer 04 is behind us again. He, though, is on the mediums. He has yet to stop, I believe, and I think he's still carrying that wing damage. I'm not carrying any damage, so I'm curious as to why the car feels so bad.
Confirmed. We'll receive you at the end of this lap.
Really hoping that this works. Alright, let's see what happens. Gotta make the gamble.
Exit now.
Come on, get up to speed, get up to speed. We're going to lose that position to Golly.
Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now.
I believe Felix in front of us still has to make his pit stop. Smart move. Okay, so I'm gonna have 1 lap fresher tires than Golly. I would guess that Nick is gonna make a pit stop. Okay, so that's Chuck. Looks like Nick has stayed out. Okay. Can we get cleanly by Golly in front of us? And then open up the gap. We've managed to kind of close him up pretty well. Back end, come on, hook up. There we go. Still Felix behind. He's staying out on those tires still. Interesting choice. Okay, that little maneuver through Spoon costs us a bit of time. Come on, Diaz. Come on! Didn't quite get out in front of Nick. Okay. I'm just so nervous to go around Golly when he makes a mistake, because he comes back on the track just pretty viciously, like you just saw with Nick. He just like kind of pushed him right off. No space.
Okay, you're catching the car ahead, but remember, we need to get to the end of the race on these tyres.
Sort of caught up at the moment. No real clean air to run in at all yet today. Jeez, golly. Okay, we should be getting close to Onslaught's pit windows. Usually we'll have... Man, golly, it's just scary on coming back on the track with his rejoins. He got into the DRS of Onslaught. Okay. Fair play. Fair play. Oh, come on, grip. Come on, tires, grip. Oh, come on.
Mind that front wing. It'll need replacing if it takes too much damage.
Alright, well. Alright, trying to drive around now this front wing damage, which is not helpful. Got 11 laps left to go. Man. Also, I've been such a just a cork bottle for this race. I haven't been able to get by him.
ERS deployment, we can harvest more energy.
Oh, that's gonna be the end of this one. Fuck! The goddamn fucking jump. Fucking hate that. Oh. How bad's the car gonna feel? The car feels awful. Cool. Alright, well.
This pace is strong, but be aware your tires need to go the distance.
No way we're gonna have the raw pace to come in anymore, so. Damn it. Let's just come in and get a new frickin' front wing. This car just understeers into oblivion now. Gonna be essentially last car running. God, that's frustrating. 2 weeks in a row. I'm gonna be glad to put this track behind me. I hate driving this track. Look at that. Front end just doesn't sit down. Oh God, I hate the stupid jump. Stupid jump. Give me a new front wing. Get me back out on the frickin' track.
Release.
Alright, let's see who we can chase down. Am I gonna get put a lap down? Probably. Okay, 10.6. It's not for points, but it's for pride at this point.
gap behind us is 23.1 seconds.
8.7. Watch that number coming down.
The gap to the car ahead is 8.7
Still 8.7.
seconds.
I estimate I'm not going to have a whole lot of tires left by the time I actually catch Felix. Start saving some electrical. Do it now. Five seconds with 5 laps to go. Okay.
There's 5 laps of fuel remaining. Our gap to the car in front is 4.0 seconds.
Got daylight behind.
It should be a few laps at least before you start feeling too many tyre issues. They seem in good condition for the time being.
2.6. Come on. Show me some pace, car. Are we looking 21%? Should be good to go. Keep chasing. Keep pursuing.
There's 3
Keep
laps
the
of
eyes
fuel remaining.
forward. Boom Tech coming through. He's cleared NGP Racer, so he's a lap down. Which means we're next on the lap down hit list. Okay, we're inside of 1 second.
Keep managing your tyres. Manage your tyres.
I'm not going to get there in time. Now, dirty, dirty air.
Great maneuver. You made it look easy.
Okay, now I just have to push. Try and clear 1 second.
The car behind has started to drop back. There's a gap beginning to form. Caution, caution.
The flag's ahead,
Gap
he's
ahead
off.
is 8.4 seconds. Green flag.
Not gonna quite catch Chuck for points. It's a shame. Darn shame.
Reduce the ERS deployment, please. We need to charge the battery. This is your final lap of the race.
Well, stuff happens. Just does. Doesn't mean I have to like it, but a frustrating race. It's just a track you can't really overtake on, you can't pass on it. At least not easily. You saw the amount of time we spent stuck behind other cars, where we had a pretty significant pace advantage, but we were just stuck.
Less than a lap of fuel now. The tank is empty.
That's going to be a very frustrating P11,
Gap to
dropping
car in
2
front is
spots.
7.5 seconds.
We were running up in 6th. We had a pretty good early run, but the jump got us, put us in the wall, and hit me pretty hard. Not very happy about that one. But happy to be moving on from this track. It's a frustrating track. It's a fun track to qualify on. Like, you nail it, it feels really good. But to racing on this is just such... You just get stuck behind people for so long. Well, I think that I believe, I have checked the math, QX and Nemesis might have clinched the championship with that win. Boomtech, though, doing well to get himself up on the podium as well. So, you know, potentially fight back. He was essentially the next in the list. But, yeah, Voki, you're the only one to pick up no penalties. Same with Chuck, though. So, unfortunately. But, yeah, we would have finished... We probably would have finished P6 or P7. Habsfam Nick was clean. But yeah, definitely a frustrating day to say the least for us. After all that, it was good to be able to at least chase somebody down and pass them in the tail stages of it. But we were just absolutely bottled up by Onslaught for the whole middle part of the race. Luckily, we're headed off to Monza, where there are passing opportunities at least. There are a couple to make moves. But that's going to be the tail end of this one. Unfortunately, I believe with K3's finish, he's going to move up past us. That's going to drop us to P10 again in the championship. So we have some work to do over the final 3 races to try and move ourselves up the field at all. Luckily, Monza's a track I like. Then we've got the USA, which is another track that most people don't like, but I actually do enjoy driving. And then after that, it will be the finisher at Brazil. But I will catch you guys next time. Thank you for joining me. See y'all a little later. Peace.